Welcome back once again for the last episode of the Breath of Fire series retrospective. I'm Dragontear, and today we'll be looking at the final installment of the series, Breath of Fire Dragonquarter. Released in 2002 by Capcom for the PlayStation 2, this installment drops the bright 2D aesthetic of the previous games in the series for a darker, more gritty 3D setting. In this installment, instead of a large open world, you are presented with a series of industrial-looking corridors. It is explained that society has moved underground, and only those most closely related to dragons live near the top. The plot again follows a blue-haired protagonist named Ryu, who, for the first time in the series, is able to speak. This time, he is a Lodi, someone who has very little dragon genes in their blood. Ryu is a ranger, and along with his partner Bosch, they are tasked with the protection of a mysterious cargo, which, when it is attacked, is revealed to be a young mute girl named Nina, who this time around is an offensive mage. The attacker, who is named Lin, also joins the party upon learning that Ryu's intention is also to protect Nina. It is revealed that Nina is actually a genetically engineered walking air purifier, a type that is mass-produced. It is also revealed that she will soon die due to the nature of her creation, and the only way to save her is to ascend to the long locked-away surface world in search of clean air. Ryu vows to save her. However, things are never simple, as Ryu's former comrades, commanded by a council of shadowy figures, stand in their way. But Ryu, despite having a very low D ratio, is aided by a dragon named Ojin. Battles this time around introduce a number of new elements. They take place in the game map in a similar way to Breath of Fire 3, but with movement and combo attacks available through the use of action points, or AP. Also new to this installment is the Positive Encounter Tactic System, or PETS for short, which basically allows you to gain the upper hand in battle by initiating the battle before your foes. Another major addition is the Scenario Overlay System, which is a bit complex, but I'll do my best to explain the details. If you've ever seen the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, you might have an idea of what's going on. You aren't meant to complete the game in a single playthrough. All but the most hardcore will find themselves either dead or unable to progress early on due to the difficulty of the battles. So when you are defeated, or choose to do so from the menu, you are given several options. The first option being Scenario Overlay Restart, which will bring you back to the start of the game with some experience and items saved. Not only will this make it easier to progress further, it also allows you to unlock various hidden scenes on subsequent playthroughs. The second option being Soul Restore, which is similar but brings you back to your last save point. There is a third Game Over option for those of you who may want to rage quit after hearing about the whole Scenario Overlay system. The Dragon system again returns in a highly modified form. This time around you can transform into a hybrid-like creature with immense power. However, the more it's used, the higher your D counter rises. Let it reach 100%, and your party is defeated, with the only option being the previously mentioned Soul Restore and Restart. So managing the use of your dragon powers is essential to your progression in this title. The Fairy Village also makes a return. This time it resembles an ant farm. One would notice very early on that this game has a very different art direction than the previous Breath of Fire games. This is mainly a result of the setting, which is an underground society instead of a large open fantasy world. The player is presented with a series of industrial-looking corridors. Because we do not get to explore the world at large in this title, it is hard to determine where, if anywhere, this installment would fit into the timeline. Many of the previous connections in the series, such as Dias and many of the races from the previous games, are very noticeably absent. I think, after my nervous breakdown regarding timelines in the previous video, I'll just say that this game could also fit just about anywhere in the timeline. From this point on, there will be some spoilers as far as the plot, so if this is a title you intend to play, I suggest clicking the like and subscribe buttons and going on your merry way. Alright, for those of us who remain, the trio work their way up to the surface despite an entire society designed to keep them from doing so. After fighting Ryu's former comrades and the Council of Shadowy Figures, you face several rival dragons to Ojin, and the party finally unlocks the doors to the surface world. Overall, I really enjoyed this title. While it dropped some of my favorite aspects of the previous games, it kept enough to keep me satisfied personally. And if you think about it, the difference between the various game systems is like a mirror to the difference in the world setting, so hats off for making me think. The ending was easily the most emotional and satisfying of the series, which is kind of appropriate, because, as of the time of this video's release, Breath of Fire has been a sleeping IP in Capcom's vault for about a decade. Many fans hold hope for news of Breath of Fire 6, but the video game industry has changed so much since the Breath of Fire era. Like in the series, time has moved on, things were forgotten, and the way of the world has changed. But hopefully, the story isn't over. So consider this, my own personal dragon shrine to a series which I loved. A monument saying that this series is not forgotten, and that we fans hold hope for the future. We enjoyed your fishing minigames, your bright and outgoing characters, all the diversity of your world. The shamans, the township, and yes, even the useless fish people. We want to hear more about the Dragon Clan and the world they inhabit. So Capcom, please do us and yourself a favor and make Breath of Fire 6. Make it amazing. Remember all that made this series great, and add to it. So until next time, this is Fade Dragontear, wishing you luck on your journey.